Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Pro Tactics. And today, me and Wade are taking a look at Pokemon Go.
Dan, what is this?
Now, see, this is a kind of a weird little game, especially since it tells you nothing, which is why we're doing this episode of Pro Tactics. So it's a Pokemon game, but it's very, very similar to another game that Niantic has made called Ingress. So this is sort of an ARG game where, honestly, if you want to get the most out of this game, you cannot just sit around at your house and play. This is a game you actually have to go out and, sort of explore around you. And
Into the real world.
Yes.
The sun on your face.
Absolutely right. And I should stress that, when you're playing this game, to be careful of your surroundings.
Right.
You don't want to wander out in the street trying to catch a Caterpie, that's for sure.
Caterpie.
That's right.
So yeah, we're walking around here, I see.
So let's just start at the beginning, all right? So this game doesn't tell you much. It starts you off with one of the top 3 starters, right? So you can grab your Bulbasaur, your Squirtle, or your Charmander.
And you obviously chose...
Oh, Squirtle, of course.
Oh, totally.
It doesn't really matter, though. They start at such a low combat power that you're never going to use them anyway. So let's get right into what you should be doing in this game.
Yes, give me some tactics.
So if you're looking at the screen right now, we're walking along. We have these 3 little Pokemon at the bottom right corner of the screen. Now, those are the Pokemon near you. So you're going to want to keep that in mind if you're trying to catch something specific that you don't already have, or you want to load up on, for in this case, Drowsies.
Yeah.
Minneapolis is apparently the city of Drowsies.
It's the
You
hub.
can get a billion of them here.
But they're showing up here because we've already caught them, right?
Otherwise you see the silhouette like you would, The whole Pokemon theme is very strong here.
Uh-huh.
First thing you want to do is get to level 5 before you do anything else. Just get to level 5.
And how do you do that?
And how this is done is you see all those little blue gems in the background there? Those are called Pokestops.
And those are real landmarks in the world.
Those are real places. They can be anything from a statue, a bar, and as you walk by, you're going to be able to get loot from these. And you can do that every 5 minutes. So if you work or play around an area that has a bunch of these, you can just keep triggering them. So basically, you can get infinite items. There's no need to use the cash shop in any way.
Right, and so it can give you Pokeballs, it can give you
Pokeballs, potions, and revives are the big 3, but you could get lucky and get some other things too. It's all pretty random. But yeah, that'll keep your keep you flush, and it also gives you experience every time you pop one of these things open too.
My favorite part of this game so far is the augmented reality. We just saw you capture Rattata or Rattata, however you say that, in the real world.
Those make for some really cool screenshots, and a lot of people have been taking cool pictures like, hey, look what's in my toilet. Or, there's a Grimer at the junk heap here. And that's really cool stuff like that. I like that. I dig it.
But we went on a mission earlier today.
Right. So the whole point of getting level 5 first is so you can make the most of your experience here. And that's all what Pro Tactics is all about.
Yeah.
Is efficiency, right? Ultimately being the best.
That no one ever
was. Which is why, that's why Pokemon is such an allure to me, because, I want to be the best that no one ever was.
Yeah.
So here we are. Again, so hit these Pokestops up, catch every Pokemon you find. You can, to put it in easy terms, you can disenchant your copycat Pokemon for materials to enhance your other Pokemon. So if you want to evolve your Drowsy, catch 50 Drowsies, or you want to catch 50, but catch a bunch of Drowsies and use the transfer option in your Pokédex to basically eliminate them and turn them into candy.
And merge them into one giant Mega Drowsy.
That's what you're doing. It's a concept that should be familiar to other people who are familiar with mobile games. It's a little easier in this game for sure.
Yeah.
Right. So we're doing that. So we're catching Pokemon, we're evolving them, we're getting levels. Once you're level 5, this lets you go to gyms, which was the purpose of today's trip. You can have a Pokemon station in up to 10 gyms at a time. And on a daily cooldown, you can cash in on those gyms. You can say, all right, I want my allowance now. And it'll give you 500 Stardust. Stardust is used for upgrading. And 10 coins. That's the cash currency of this game. Per Pokemon you have stationed up to 10. So that's 100 gold and 5,000 Stardust per day, which is extremely significant and will make you very powerful. So you want to do these things. It'll get you bag upgrades and all kinds of other great stuff.
And being more powerful essentially equates to your combat points for your Pokemon, right?
Right. It's all, instead of levels, Pokemon in this game have CP.
Yeah.
So that's just their combat power. It's a relative term.
Another thing...
You're going to want a good mix of types and stuff.
Yeah, you don't battle other wild Pokemon to catch them. You just have to be skilled enough with a Pokeball toss.
Yes. And there are several different tosses, and there's various difficulties. Green, red, and yellow on the actual Pokemon. You're not going to find a lot of hard stuff to catch early. But man, some of the rares could be tough. And you can also do special spins and stuff with the ball if you want to get a little extra XP and you've got 500 extra Pokeballs because you spent a few hours at a Pokestop.
Right.
And you want to just get extra XP because that's more valuable to you.
But there's also, I saw you pick up a potion. There's incense. What do these things do?
Yeah, okay, so the potions, there's no way to heal your Pokemon without getting potions or evolving them, but that's only gives them like 1 HP, so.
Okay.
Well, an evolve will give them I think they're full HP back, but leveling them up gives them like 1. You really need potions if you're going to be fighting your Pokemon, but you'll get tons. Like I said, the game encourages you to do these walks, like hit the stop, hit the stop, hit the stop, hit a gym, hit the stop, and take them out.
I'm seeing these like the leaves toss up.
This is important. See these little leaves things? They look for the tall grass, right? That's where the wild Pokemon are. They're going to spawn rarer and more like stronger Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So you definitely want to keep an eye out for those. And I should mention that they're not specific. So like that tall grass being right there on the screen does not mean you just go to that spot and stop. It could be a circle away. But
so you're not just randomly wandering into some like bar looking for...
Right, it's where you're going to want to hunt. Yeah, this is a good mission. There's a lot of junk Pokemon on the way. As you'll see, I mean, Rattatas and Pidgeys, you are going to see a million of these things, but they can still be valuable to you in the early game. So these first weeks of the game, just grabbing like 10 million Rattatas and powering them up to a big Raticate, that should be enough to take over some local gyms.
Essentially, there's no reason not to capture every Pokemon you come across, right?
In theory.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, because it's still XP, right? Mm-hmm. And you definitely need lots of XP, and you need those materials. But in the end, like I'm sure a few weeks from now, I will not stop to catch Pidgeys and Rattatas. Yeah. They are just not going to do anything for me.
So once you get to level 5, what can you expect? What sort of things are you looking for?
5 is the big one, because that means you can interact with gyms. And that's so the game is divided into 3 teams. You're going to pick your team at level 5. That's red, blue, or yellow, based on the 3 legendary Pokemon birds.
Which one's the best?
Well, we're Team Red here at GI, so I'm going to have to go with Moltres, and then it's basically like this big expanded social game in your area with all your gyms, under your control. And what you do here, it gets a little more advanced.
Yeah.
So check this out. You can only have a single Pokemon in each gym, but if you group up with your team, you can stack the gyms like you can in a Pokemon game and have like 5 or 6 in there, right?
Okay.
And they'll have to battle through all of those to break the gym and take it over.
So if you want to control a gym that's going to be really hard to topple, you just get a bunch of friends together to contribute Pokemon for that.
Just get in there, and then all of your guys can position a Pokemon in there and leave it there. So they all get ownership of the gym, so they're all getting a benefit, 10 coins and 500 stardust a day. And then, it's much harder to be taken. Unlike if you're the only guy who owns the gym, it's really easy for just anybody to walk by and say, well, I got a bigger Pokemon, I'm going to take it. Unless
it's the gym that we tried to take on today.
Well, this gym we really had a huge advantage on and should have been just crushed. But
what was the opponent like here?
I should be clear here. This is like the first days of the game, and the servers are struggling. Mm-hmm. They're going up, they're going down, who knows? And we had some real issues taking this gym because it should have been a cut and dry fight. But what I've learned is a known bug here in these early days is that you get the opponent down to like 1 health, and the game just flips out and just, it doesn't die. But this was the Horsey that would not die.
It's CP 85, and you had like
we started this fight out with a 289 Raticate.
So should have been no contest.
So that's just a complete annihilation, right? And theoretically, we could bring in all 6. You can bring 6 to a fight here. Okay. So it's like the normal game. You got your whole lineup.
Yep. Against just one of theirs.
Against that one particular Horsey here, yeah.
Now, in theory, if you were to take this gym, then would it be the first Pokemon you used that would be
I believe
defending?
I'd like to tell you that for certain, but I don't know since we didn't take the gym. I think it would just be we'd get to pick, but I'm not entirely sure of this.
Yeah. So
I think you get to pick because it makes the gym neutral, and then you take it.
Yeah. So now the battle also is not turn-based, right?
It is not. You just spam attack, and then once you have these bars, each Pokemon has different moves that cost an amount of bars. So they have the regular attack, which you spam, and then you have a special move that once you charge up your bar through regular attacks, you can use it. And those are the more special moves like Psybeam, and some of the more popular cool moves that you could do. So each Pokemon has 2 moves in this game.
Gotcha. So it sounds like you want to catch a lot of Pokemon, walk around to get all the loot you can, eventually take over a gym and reinforce it with your friends. Anything else we need to learn about this game early on?
That is the game in a nutshell, but it's a little deeper. The metagame is enormous. Like, let's say you've got... Really, it isn't going to depend where you live. Like, if your whole neighborhood is just like got that one gym, it's going to be under constant assault, and you're going to want to band up. And the thing is, you never even need to talk to another person. It's got this really weird metagame, right? Like, you might just learn that these people are in your town. Like, you'd be like, wow, me and these other red guys own this gym, but I've never met a single one of them. But we keep taking it every day. And likewise, you're going to have opponents like, you're going to be looking for that yellow guy walking by the bar. None of this stuff is explained really in the game, so I thought it would be useful to go over these are the important things you should be doing. And again, going to Pokestops will keep you with a constant supply of items, so there's no problem there. And get 5 and start going and battling in those gyms.
Got it. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, and Pokemon Pro Tactics.